delighted with the way the players were?
Yeah, I was. I thought the response was fabulous, really. I asked them for a response individually and together, and I thought, couldn't wish for a better. I could have wished for a few more goals, but, the response was excellent.
4 games in now, 2 wins, 2 defeats. What have you made of the start?
Well, it's like you say, it's we've been okay at home, not too bad at home, but very, very poor defensively away from home, really, and we've let things affect us away from home when we've conceded a goal, which we have got to overcome that. I know we've got quite a lot of changes, but we've still got to be a little bit more disciplined, and it'll be a tough game Saturday. Blackburn, I saw them beat Hull the other night, so that they're not a bad side.
You mentioned those defensive errors. You were so solid defensively when you got promoted from the Championship last time. What is it that needs to change to be like that again?
Well, we've just got to. We've been a bit unlucky with Marlon Pack's injury after Gunnarsson. I just think Gunnarsson gave us that assurance last year, and I think Marlon Pack showed against Luton he did the same. So it's not been fair, really, to pick injuries up like that. But the lads who have come in, they haven't got his knowledge or Gunnar's knowledge, and so it's slightly different. But they've got to learn. I asked them to be disciplined the other night, and I thought they were, because they're not bad in midfield either. Disappointed with the goal that we conceded, but overall I thought the midfield did well, because it's hard. I know it's great with Tomo when he plays well, but it's hard for the other two leg wise to get around when you've got 3 midfield players that are quite agile and pass the ball around. But I thought they made up for that, and it allowed Tomo to get on the ball a lot more, which we wanted for an hour.
You mentioned that midfield, that chemistry you've got there. Will that take a bit of time, because there's a lot of change in midfield, isn't it? 4 have gone.
Yeah, we haven't got much choice, really. We've been looking, obviously, as you do, but we thought we'd got the answer with Marlon. So it is cruel to lose somebody as influential as that. So on top of when you think your Bamba's out of this, and then we've got new strikers, and it's been a real transformation, really, of the squad when you think back 12 months ago.
You mentioned those injuries. I know the transfer deadline's closed. We've done well with 3 transfers in the past. Would you consider bringing someone in to cover those injuries? Well,
I think we're going to have to see, because we've got not just Blackburn but Fulham. You saw probably the best team in the league, Fulham. So we've got 2 tough games now, and I think then we've got the 2 weeks break, and we've got to see. Just have a look. I think wait up after another couple of games, really.
You mentioned Lee Tomlin as well, a return to the team in that kind of 10 role. What have you made of his return?
Well, I don't think he can do any other role. I think it's got to be in that 10 role. So we all know what we've got to do if Tomo's in the team, and I thought we did that the other night. We are going to be a little bit more vulnerable when we lose the ball, but sometimes I didn't think there was any reason not to give him a try. He's worked ever so hard. He'll be a bit stiff as he was yesterday, so it's we'll have to see how he is, really. It's really down to him.
Fitness-wise, looking to that game against Blackburn, have you got any new concerns?
Not really, no, I don't think so. No, I think that we've got the same sort of problems that we had before the game.
After the game against Huddersfield, you mentioned that Vincent Tan had sent you some abuse from fans.
No, well, he just sent me 27 messages from the website, so I sent him 27 back last night. No, I didn't. No, he just cares. That's all. He cares, and he doesn't look at it very often. He says, but he, obviously, it was quite hostile on Sunday night. So he's got a good friend over there that looks for all the bad stuff over here and keeps him informed. And but that's how it is.
I know you're aware of the noise. I know you read the papers and listen to the radio. When fans' criticism is concerned, do you feel a bit hurt?
Well, I didn't actually look at the papers or the boards after Sunday, because I couldn't see anything positive in doing that, if I'm honest. I felt very bitter myself, so no, best just to get on, and you've got to clear your head. And I don't suppose anybody on Sunday thought we could put a performance in like we did on Wednesday. We had 2 less days than Huddersfield to prepare. We got 1 less day than Blackburn, and all the travelling we've got to do on a bank holiday. There's a lot of things that the lads are having to cope with at the minute, but like I say, pleased that they came back like that after such a debacle like Sunday.
Because because you've had such a good relationship with the fans, haven't you, since your time here? Is it just a case of a few teething problems, do you think, at the start of this season?
Not really. I think there's always, you always get a number of fans underneath the surface that are waiting to pounce. That's the job of football management, But I know that even now the majority of fans are really behind me and they're supportive. But the majority of fans, you don't see them usually on the websites and the forums. They have their own opinion, really. I meet them out when I'm out every day of the week. I meet what I call the normal fans, but you can't stop the passion. Passions, that's what it's for. Some of these notice boards, they get rid of the frustrations, don't they? And it helps them, I would imagine, social media, But fortunately, I'm not on it.
Yeah, does it take a bit of restraint on your half not to look what's out there?
Oh no, I do sometimes. It's good sometimes. I pick one or two things up which I think are quite interesting, different opinions, because some of the fans are quite knowledgeable and they see things. So no, and my daughter looks at it a lot. Unfortunately, she'll come up with the odd thing to tell me, Dad. But in general, I think you've just got to clear your head. Really, all my job on Sunday wasn't to look at what I already knew. It was to plan ahead how I was going to get a result against Huddersfield after a game like that. So, that was a hard couple of days really for me. But, we sorted that out, and now we've got to work out how we can get a points away from home.
Just finally from me as well, I was wondering if I could ask about one of your former clubs, Bury, and they've had a very tough time of it off the field. They've got until midnight tonight, I think, to avoid a possible expulsion. I was wondering what you've made of what's happened to that club.
Well, I mean, I think it's criminal, really. I just hope that they, if they go under, I just hope that they're not allowed to sell the land and build houses, because I think there's ulterior motives really in some of these things that are happening at the moment. I think sometimes you've got to look at if they're going to go under. I don't think anybody should make a profit out of it. Do you think the EFL should be doing more to ensure that owners are responsible in this kind of example? Well, I've never been a fan of anybody buying a club for £1, if I'm honest, because there's so much sort of in the cupboard. There's so many things that you don't find out. So I think the EFL should have some sort of rigorous check on when a club's sold for £1. Taking on debts, and do they know all the debts and things? It's it's not rocket science really. So, but who are we there that they're the masters of the game, the EFL? So we can't tell them how to do the job. But I think there should be more checks.
What sort of football town is Bury? Is it a football club?
It's not a good one to talk to me about because it was my least favourite football club.
I appreciate that.
Okay, all I remember about Bury is picking the dog poo up off the training ground before we trained.
It was that bad?
It was that bad, yeah. The training ground. But we had a good group of lads. Dean Carley, the goalkeeper. We had Dorsey and one or two other lads in there. There were, Luke Ketty was a super guy. But lots of good lads and good group. So it was. I had no problem with it. But it's not one that
But no one wants to see a football club die, do they?
No, not at all. No, not at all. And it shouldn't die. It shouldn't die really.
But are they in this position because they simply overspent to get promoted?
Well, they are, but the chap at the moment, unless you know all the information, it's difficult. But he is having offers for the club, but he still wants to sell it for a certain amount, so he ends up getting probably nearly £1 million for his money. Are you with me? So I don't think he's helping that matter either. So I'm disappointed that the EFL haven't looked into more of that, of these people that want to buy it, but I don't suppose they can enforce it. I suppose it's got to be agreeable from the owners, I would imagine.
Yeah, I know we saw Kieran Brown in the squad on the weekend. Any more academy lads, you think?
He'll be in the squad tomorrow. We are a bit short at the minute now. We can't look ahead to the cup game either, but it's it's very close to bringing 2 or 3 of them in. Are you with me, to travel? We've got a couple of lads who are doubtful. One of them we're probably going to take with us today and make a decision tomorrow. That's how, you know. So we'll have to take probably young Coxey as well with us, something like that. But it is we are a bit threadbare at the minute.
How about Mendes, Lang and Patterson?
Well, they're improving, but you know, that's all you can say about them really. Whether it's, you know, too early for this weekend or not, I'm not sure. I think Patterson's got more chance. The problem with Patterson is we wanted to be extra careful because it was the knee that he had an operation on, but it wasn't related to that operation. That operation was good. He just got such a whack when he collided with that guy, and fluid come on his knee. So, in that case, we didn't want to take any gambles on it. Are you with me? So we just we're leaving it a little bit.
Just a few reports on social media last night of Joe Ledley potentially coming back to Cardiff City. Could you clear that up, maybe?
Not really, no. I mean, I think Joe's been mentioned a few times over the last couple of years. You know, I think Joe's a super guy. You know, really did well for me at Crystal Palace, but I've not made any inquiries for Joe at the minute.
Sorry, could you just, how long's Marlon Pack going to be out for?
How long's a piece of string? I would imagine longer than ever I thought. Right. Honestly, it's a bad one.
Is he going to go under the knife or?
No, he's not going to go under the night, but I think it's what they call a grade 3, I think, which is the worst. So it's probably a couple of months.
What's that on? Is it hamstring? Or?
Yeah. So it is a disappointing. You know, we have looked at the training schedules and just at the moment to have a look at, you know, Mendes Lang's slight hamstring, a couple of the other lads attack. But we did do a lot of travelling that week. You know, we were 7 hours on the bus and then travelling in. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So
you're flying this weekend, aren't you?
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
Thank goodness. Especially bank holiday as well.
How big a difference will that make?
Oh, it makes such a difference to you. And it's my fault really, because I could have booked early doors on that one. But by the time we wanted to go, it was all full up, the booking. So, you know, now we're doing it right. So we can't have any excuse on that extent. But it's still disappointing to, you know, on top of what we've lost, you know, to lose a Pack and an Etheridge at this stage when you've just worked hard to get your team together. It's, you know, but the lads have got to step up, and I thought they did the other night. I thought they did, you know, we did as best we can. I think it would have been nice, like you say, we deserved more goals, didn't we, really? We played some good positive in that final third, but it wasn't to be. But fortunately, I thought we, you know, like you say, you don't always get what you deserve, but I thought we did the other night. And
if we'd have been a fly on the wall on Tuesday, would it have been Fergie times 10, or did you throttle it back?
No, it wasn't Fergie times 10. No, it was just a heart-to-heart with individuals without them talking back to me. It was just me talking, that's all. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Just for a couple of hours.
But it's great when you get a reaction like that.
Yeah, it is. Well, if you don't get a reaction, you know, there's not much more you can do, is there? Really.
Is that like a final card with the manager? Have you done that many times before?
No, but as I said yesterday, Len Ashurst, my own manager, did that when he was just about, I thought he was going to resign, and came in and give us all a few. And it worked, you know. So I thought nothing to lose, really, because it was that disappointing on Sunday. You know, I felt really disappointed that so many fans had travelled. We haven't let them down very often in the almost 3 years I've been here. I think they've had more than the money's worth, but you know, we demand, the fans and me demand that they give everything, and I didn't think that was the case.
It's psychologically, having beaten one of the teams that came down with you, if you could do that again, not pitching too far forward, but against Fulham.
Let's cross those bridges when we come to that. Don't let's think about Fulham just yet. When you look at their team, I think their team is better now than they were in the Premier League.
Right.
Well, I do, far better. I think the signings have been excellent, mate. You know, Knockout and the other side, Cavalieras, and what do they call it? The best signing was Mitrovic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But, you know, what a contract he's got. You know, we're not in that league. So, you know, it's... I think we'd have been all right, ain't me, this year, if we'd have had Camarasa, Arter, Bruno, Gunners.
Yeah.
I think we'd have been fine. It's disappointing, but they have done well, and I think whoever finishes above Fulham will be automatically promoted, if anybody. All right.
Okay, thank you.